Stotch in Pennsylvania.
Oh, hey guys. Hey Russell.
Hi.
I don't know if you remember me. I called in a while ago, and I talked with you and a lady about supernatural stuff.
Did I wind up irritated on that call?
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
good.
Because if you did, it's probably going to happen again.
Yeah, those patterns tend to repeat themselves.
Well, I get.
Sorry,
get
I don't
kinda,
remember everybody who calls, but
Okay.
I'm sure I'll remember eventually.
Well, I get kind of nervous, so I'm sorry if maybe you have a hard time understanding my point, but I saw a program about Big Bang, and I didn't know much about it before I saw that program, and I was wondering if most atheists, if they believe in the Big Bang, if that's how they believe the universe was created.
I can't honestly say if most atheists believe in mainstream science,
Well, how about-
but I
how
would
about you
I would
guys?
assume that the ones who do, and I include myself, agree that that is the most likely scientific conclusion given what we know right now. And my physicist friend's shaking his head, but tough.
But like the show said that the Big Bang was the start of the universe, and that's how the universe
Well,
was
it
created.
was the start of the universe as we know it. I mean, technically, under the Big Bang model, there was stuff which was basically the universe before then, and the Big Bang describes everything that happens moments after it started expanding.
Yeah, so that's what I don't understand, because like there had to be things here before the Big Bang happened, right? First, like something had to go bang, right?
Yeah, before is a tricky thing to say, because in that model, time and the universe come into existence simultaneously. So talking about things beforehand is weird, right? Because there isn't time for anything to exist in before then.
But then something
Because
still
there's
has to be there.
There, I said before, huh?
Like something still had to be there, right?
There was something there, yes.
Well, then how do you two guys think that came about?
You realize this is not a science show, and we are not scientists, right?
Right.
No, I'm asking what you two guys as atheists, what's your explanation for...
Well, I mean,
the
one of the things about...
Atheism does not encompass a specific set of scientific propositions. Atheism is just, we don't believe that there's any gods. Now, everything after that, every single one of us you talk to could tell you something else. I think that if you have questions about Big Bang cosmology, you should, watch more shows about it, where probably they will get around to some of these issues that you're concerned about, or better yet, talk to somebody who already knows this stuff, who can explain it to you better than us.
Right, but also as an atheist, I don't make a habit and as a person who's interested in dealing with scientific conclusions, I don't make a habit of making stuff up to fill in the gaps of things that I don't know, like, for instance, a magic man in the sky.
Yeah, well, when I called you guys last time, like you said that, you had a lot of good points. You said, like, I asked you how you guys got here, and you said because your parents had sex. But that's not really, that's how you got here, but...
Well, that's the question.
They came before you, and their parents came before them. So I'm trying to think. It doesn't make sense to me where it all began if you take God out of the picture.
Well, how does it make sense if you put God in the picture?
Well, because God created everything.
Well, so where did God come from?
Well, because He's a God, and He's the only God.
So you're just using the word God as a special exception that's exempt from your rules as a thing that doesn't need a beginning.
Well, that's that's a theory I have of how everything came to be.
Don't call it a theory. It's not verified by experiment in any way. It's a guess.
Well, another thing is how complicated everything is. Like you take your brain, for example.
Is the God complicated? Would the God be complicated?
I don't know, because He's the only God, and we can't take Him to examine Him.
So you don't know and you don't care.
How do you know that He's...
I'm trying to
Wait a minute.
I'm trying to get some answers.
But Stotch, how do you know He's the only God? How do you know He even is a God? How do you know any of this stuff?
Well,
Science, at least, I mean, we don't want to, what we want to do is deflect these questions about physics because we're not physicists, okay? And we can't give you good answers. Now, you're willing to talk about all this stuff with gods and things, but when you get right down to it, you don't know any of that. You have no evidence in support of any of that. All you've got is stuff you've been told and your own guesses. And that's fine, you're entitled to that, but it hardly compares to the discoveries of science that are painstakingly discovered by, years and years of rigorous, careful research. It doesn't compare. You can say, well, I don't know how it could be anything other than God. That's not because you're not one of the guys that did the science that has come up with answers that replace that.
Well, when I look at things like the Big Bang Theory, it kind of seems to me like the same as if you just threw a bunch of stuff in a blender and turned it on, and it produced like a human mind, which is
I
like
don't think
a
you really paid
supercomputer,
attention to
and
that
it's
show
not-
you were watching.
It
And
doesn't really.
because it seems that way to you, do you assume that that is therefore what it is?
I don't understand what
You said it seems to me like the Big Bang is just a bunch of stuff thrown in a blender. Okay, fine. That's how it seems to you.
That is.
But does that mean that's what it is?
Yeah.
No,
But that's how it
actually
happened,
no. No, actually no. Go watch more science
I saw
programs
the program,
and watch.
that's what it said. Everything.
It said
All right.
the
If you're
blender-
bound and determined to refuse to educate yourself
No,
and
I
instead
thought it was
latch
a-
on to your personal impression of
No, it's not,
one
because it was a
science
science
program you watched.
And it said that everything exploded, and then the gravity spun it around, and then that made the galaxies.
Go learn more
and
science.
the
Thank you for
planet-
your call. What do we do with that?
I don't know.
Good grief.
Okay,